Hey guys, so as requested by you lot in the Facebook group, I'm going to do a tutorial today on how to make a shaker dashboard for the Traveller's Notebook using the fuse tool. Now, this tutorial is just for the fuse tool. There are a few tutorials out there on YouTube and everywhere else on how to make them if you don't have a fuse tool. What I'm going to do is in the Mrs. Brimble's Facebook group, the Happy Place, I'm going to create a file with all the links to all the different tutorials. So whether you've got a fuse tool or not, hopefully you'll be able to find the resource that kind of is going to work best for you so that you can create one. So I'm just doing a tutorial on the Traveller's Notebook one. If you guys want me to do a tutorial on making a shaker dashboard for a ring planner, then let me know. It's very similar, transferable skills, so just let me know and I can obviously do that for you guys. So this is one that I had in this Traveller's Notebook, which sparked off you guys asking for a demo, and so I'm going to make a brand new one today. I'm going to switch out into my pink Traveller's Notebook, and I thought I'd do a kind of a Valentine's-y themed dashboard, and I thought I'd film it for you. So what you guys will need to make a dashboard like mine is your fuse tool. Now I find when using a fuse tool, I plug it in straight away if I think I'm going to use it, because I have found in using it that if it's not really hot, it doesn't work anywhere near as well as it should do. So that's my little tip for you guys. And obviously always put your fusing tool nib on before you heat it up, because it gets really hot. If you buy the fuse tool, you get a cutting tool and a fusing tool. They're just like little nibs that go on the end. So always put that on before you heat it up. And obviously you've got your stand, and you've got your little ruler guide thingy to help you as well. So you'll need those. That's invaluable. This little ruler thing is absolutely invaluable when it comes to fusing. Okay, so other things you will need for doing this is you'll need some sort of mat in order to do it on. Most people have like a cutting mat. I'm not most people. I use a magazine. I find magazine works really well, and it's kind of like hard enough. It's really weird, but it's kind of like hard enough to be able to do it on, but soft enough to kind of like take the pressure of the fuse tool, because I find that you have to kind of like, when you're doing the fusing, you kind of like really have to press in and do it really smooth. It's really hard to explain. I'll just keep moving my hand backwards and forwards, but I find you kind of have to press in a fairly steady pressure and keep it moving. And I find the magazine has got kind of like enough shock absorbency to be able to do that. So I use a magazine. I've actually stolen John's, but we won't tell him. You're going to need either some scissors or a paper cutter, a pencil for marking out your lines. Going to need either your Traveller's Notebook or a Traveller's Notebook. These are beautiful, guys. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. That's from Webster's Pages. Super pretty. As a guide, so you know what size you're going to be doing your dashboard. Obviously, some of you use the standard size, some of you use the extra wide. So whatever notebooks you're using, have one of your notebooks on hand so that we can use that as a guide. Obviously, if you're going to be shakering, you're going to need some sequins or beads or whatever it is that you want to actually put in your shaker. The things I'm using for this is my bits and bobs from the February Brimbles box. So I'm going to be, as I said, doing a Valentine's themed one. So I've got some sequins, I've got some ephemera, and ephemera is just like die cut pieces of paper or card or what have you. So yes, some ephemera. I've got some enamel dots. Now these aren't compulsory, I just thought these might be quite nice for us, a bit of added embellishment afterwards. some scrapbook paper or card if you want to use it. Okay, and lastly, but by no means leastly, you're going to need your actual sheets for making the dashboard, like this actual plastic. So the ones that I'm using are just the 12 by 12 clear sheets from We Are Memory Keepers. Okay, so the way you actually make your dashboard is kind of down to personal preference. So this is how I like mine to be. I've got scrapbook paper in the back there. Obviously that's double-sided, so scrapbook paper in the back there, and then this side, oh, sequin fell out. This side clear with some ephemera and my sequins in. And as I say, that's how I like mine, that's my preference. But obviously you can do yours however you want to. So you could make the back clear as well if you wanted. You could have like a double shaker. I personally like mine with the scrapbook paper in the back, because it gives it makes it a little bit more sturdy, and also I can kind of feel like I can use it a bit more for kind of like putting my sticky notes and things on. But it is entirely up to you. And likewise on the front here, now my sequins are falling out because I've just noticed where I haven't fused it properly at the bottom, there's a tiny little hole. And on the front here again, you can leave it clear like I've done with just some ephemera and some sequins, or you can put a scrapbook card in there as well. You know, you don't have to use ephemera if you don't want to. You could literally just put scrapbook card in there and your sequins. You can put scrapbook paper, ephemera and sequins. You know, you just have a play around with it, and it will give you plenty of opportunity to practice with your fuse tool and just have fun crafting. So I'm going to like basically recreate this one how I did it like this, but obviously yeah, you can play around. So I'm going to take my my scrapbook card, and I'm also going to take my my template notebook that I'm using. Just butt it up basically against the side of your 12 by 12. You can make it a little bit larger if you want to. I'm literally going to make it just a smidgen, like a few millimeters wider than the book itself, because I do want it to kind of just be very, very smidgenly larger, so that when it does all wrap round, it wraps round properly and doesn't kind of leave any gaps. It doesn't look too short. So yeah, just sort of drawing round my notebook. So I've got the size that I want, and then just cut it out so we've got the same size rectangle as your traveller's notebook. Then, as I say, just with a little smidgen bigger, just because that's my own personal preference to do that. Now, I'm not the neatest and straightest of cutters, particularly when I'm doing a tutorial, and excuse me, it always seems to go crazy awry. Okay, so we've got the background ready. So now it's time to get out my plastic for my fuse and start constructing the dashboard itself, which is really, really exciting. Right, so I keep finding bits all over the desk. Okay, so I've got my 2 clear sheets, so I'm just gonna like tap them together. I should have said in the helpful list of things to have is like little clips, because these things are slippery little suckers and they do keep moving. Just put that in my teeth, which is bad. I can't talk now. Fuse tool. Okay, so just line up the sorry, I had that in my teeth. So just line up your sheets. I'm just using a binder clip. It came out as binder clip. So just line them up. And I'm just binding the top edge and the side edge together. Doesn't really matter. like so. Oh, come on, Anna, your fingers and thumbs today. Isn't it working? Right, okay. So they're just bound together now. So I'm going to grab my magazine and pop it underneath. So I've got something to press against. And then I've got my my card. Now the decision comes which side you're going to have it. Oh, I think I'm going to have it the spotty side and have my ladybugs on the other side, because I think I'm going to have a ladybug piece of ephemera on there. So I'm going to turn it over to the reverse. So you just have to remember that when you're doing your dashboard, you've got like, so it'll open like that. So that's my reverse side there. That's my like A side. That's my B side. That's my B side. That's my A side. So put it there, and then I'm just going to tuck it in. So open it up and tuck it in. Now you don't want to make it right butt up against the plastic, because you're going to need to save yourself some fusing space, and you can always cut again, like you can always cut it down later. So I leave myself a fairly generous gap there for fusing. As I said, you can always cut it down again if you need to. Right, so that's in there. Now you get your ruler and you put the hole in the ruler up against the edge of the card. It's got rubber feet, so it's really difficult to kind of, it's great because the rubber feet keep it in place. But the problem with the rubber feet also is that you can't move it around very much if you need to kind of, you know, move it over slightly. That is the only downside. But other than that, this little gadget is the most invaluable thing. And it just takes me a while because of the rubber feet. It just takes me a while just to kind of line it up. So there we are, I've lined it up. So this edge here is up against this edge, and then I've got this nice free edge here for fusing. So my fuse tool is nice and hot. I know that because I just caught myself on it. And the thing with the fuse tool, excuse me, is you don't hesitate with it. You want to do it like you know what you're doing. You want to put it in, push it down, and roll that baby across, just doing one smooth motion. I very quickly go back on myself sometimes. But what you want to do is you don't want to leave your fuse tool in anywhere on the plastic for too long, otherwise you will burn a hole in it. So here we go. I'm just going to do it now in this hole and back. So nice and smooth. Take my ruler away, and yeah, we're good. We're good. Just having a little look, see if we've fused. And go. Okay, so I've done my whole runner, and hopefully we're all nicely fused. Yeah. Okie dokie. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to fuse around the other edges to fuse this piece of card in the plastic. Okay, so I now have my piece of card all fused in all four sides. It's now time to do the shaker on the other side. So what I do is I have another piece of card which is the exact same size as this one. So I'm just going to place it over this side just as a measuring tool. What you want to do is you want to leave a nice gap for a spine, as I said, so it's going to wrap around your book now, or books, however many books or book you want it to wrap round. So what I do is I just put my book there and just wrap it around, so I get a little bit of a gauge as to how big I want it to be. I want to give a little bit of a slack there, so that a little bit of a slack so that I know it will wrap round. Okay, you see what I mean? Because I want to just give it a little bit of room. So I just take my clip off there, and then I'm just going to clip this on like so, and then I open it again and take that out. So that's the spine that I'm going to leave for my dashboard. So I'm going to just fuse that now. Sorry, so that makes sense. So I'm gonna, this piece of card is on the outside of the plastic, not on the inside, okay? Unless, of course, you wanted it to be on the inside. I don't. So it's on the outside, but I'm still going to use it as a guide for fusing. So I'm going to put my ruler in there and fuse down the side, just in the same way that I did with this one. Okay, now it's imperative to check when it comes to this side that everything is all fused together well. So you just want to just check. See, I can see if a few bits aren't fused properly, so I am going to go over that, because that's where your sequins are going to go. So you want to make sure that it's all nicely fused, otherwise all your sequins are going to be falling out. Excellent. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over. So this is the side that we are looking at, this one, and I'm going to just pop my ephemera inside. So I've only got that one side done, remember. It's just because I want to leave a big gap so I can put my hand in to put my ephemera in, not my sequins, but my ephemera. And I'm probably only going to put a little, probably only going to put this ladybug in, because he's quite big. Or do I put some hearts in as well? No. Do I put some flowers in? No, I think I'm just going to put my ladybug in. Now, when I did this one, I did actually I did actually put a dab of Pritt stick on the back of him, and I stuck him to the back of the acetate, so, you know, to the back of the dash. You could see the glue mark there still, actually. But over time, as the sequins kind of went up behind him and stuff, it kind of just wore away. That could be because Pritt stick wasn't the best medium to use, but it was all I had at hand at that time. You know, if you use double-sided tape, it'd probably be a lot better. So if you want your ephemera or your die-cut piece to stay in exactly the same place all the time, then glue that in place. I'm not bothered about that. I don't mind it moving around, so I'm just going to pop it in loose like that. Or do I want it moved? Oh, I don't know now. Anyway, yeah, I'll leave it loose. I'll leave it loose. Can always make another one. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to fuse another two sides. So I'm going to fuse the top and the side, leaving the bottom open. Okie dokie. So all my sides are fused now, except for this very, very bottom edge. And now it's time to put the sequins in, which is really exciting. So yeah, as I said, using these sequins. And I am quite generous when it comes to sequins. I'm not shy. I am not shy in the slightest of using my sequins. So yeah, you just want to open your dash and pour your sequins in, and they're liable to get everywhere. You'll be finding sequins forever. Is that too many, Anna? Is that too many? Can you ever have too many sequins? Nah, that's perfect. Okay, so my sequins are in there now. All that's left for me to do now is, well, that's not all actually, but yeah, my sequins are in there, so I just need to use my ruler and measure off the bottom now. So just use that as a guide again. I need to fuse it, baby, fuse it. Let's get the fusing. Let's get the fusing. And I want to really make sure it's all in there. So that's nicely fused. So we don't want any of our precious, precious baby sequins to come out. Am I fused? Am I nicely fused? Oh, no, not there. Not there. So it's always worth a check before you stop what you're doing, because there you go. Right. Yes. that baby's now fused. Woohoo! So we now have ourselves a dashboard. And so all you need to do now is just cut it down to the right size. And you guys who have paper trimmers, this will be a lot better for you, because you'll be a lot more accurate and neater. But yeah, you just need to trim it down as close as you like to the fuse sections. Obviously don't cut through your fuse, because then you'll have undone everything that you have just spent time doing, and you'll have to refuse it again. Yeah, that's all you need to do now, guys. And there we have it. There, I'll move the magazine out of the way so you can see it better. So yeah, there we have it. There's our shaker dashboard for the Traveller's Notebook, which I'm really happy with. Oh, I've just noticed a space. I have just noticed the minutest little gap. So we need to nip that in the bud. Where did you go? That's better. That's better. Okay, so I just finished doing that. So yeah, there we have our dashboard for the Traveller's Notebook. It will wrap lovely around your book, so you can just put that in this on the strings. And if you've got a book with a beautiful cover like this one, making it transparent means that you can still see some of the design on your cover, which is really good. The enamel dots, now I'm going to pop some on the outside of my dashboard, just because I like a little bit of dimension. Now, I saw someone in the Mrs. Brimble's Facebook group who had taken their enamel dots, and they'd taken them, put them back to back, and added them into their dashboard as a little bit of extra something, which I thought was really cool. So I was just really excited to see that, to be honest. But I just really love enamel dots. I love like the texture of them, and I love a bit of tactileness. So I just wanted to add a little, just a 3. That's fine for me. Just something, little bit of tactile there. So there we go. That's how to make a shaker Traveller's Notebook dashboard the Anna way. I don't know if there are any other ways, but that is the Anna way. And so now I'm going to set up my beautiful pink. Now, I'm not a pink girl normally, but this bright pink kind of speaks to me, so I'm going to set this beauty up. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I can't wait to see all your shakers, babies.